So next ratio is interest coverage ratio. The next ratio coming under this category of solvency ratio. The next one is interest coverage ratio. Interest coverage, that means by computing this ratio, it tells us whether the firm is able to service its interest on loan. Definitely, when the business or anyone, whoever takes loan, we will have to repay the loan, including the interest. Interest should be paid. Okay. So, this interest coverage ratio helps us to understand whether the firm is able to meet its interest, whether it is possible for the firm to solve interest issues, the payment of interest. Okay, it is a measure of security of interest payable on long-term debts, whether there is sufficient funds to meet the interest on loans. It expresses the relationship between profits available for the payment of interest and the amount of interest payable. Whether the profits, whatever profits are received, is it sufficient to meet the interest? Okay, so that is interest coverage ratio. And the formula to calculate this is net profit before interest and tax divided by interest on long-term debts. Interest coverage ratio is equal to net profit before interest and tax. Before interest and tax divided by interest on long-term debts. Now, let us see a question based on this. X Limited has a 10% long-term loan of rupees 20,000. So 20,000 is the loan amount and the interest rate is 10%. And it is directly given its net profit before interest and tax. Before interest and tax was 9 lakh. Calculate interest coverage ratio. So the numerator net profit before interest and tax is directly given to you. Okay, and the denominator interest on long-term debts. We have to calculate it. How? 20 lakhs is the loan amount. And what is the interest rate? It is 10%. So 20 lakhs into 10%. That is into 10 by 100. That will give you the interest on long-term debts. So what is the interest on long-term debts? It is 2 lakh. So find out the ratio, please. Net profit before interest and tax, that is 9 lakhs. 9 lakhs divided by 2 lakhs. Find out.
No, 4.5.
Okay. Got the answer?
4.5.
Yes, 4.5. And this is expressed as times. Times. Okay? Times. 4.5 times. And the significance, you can see, how is it important? How is it useful? This ratio is very useful to the long-term lending agencies like debenture holders and lenders of long-term funds, as it indicates the number of times the interest on long-term funds is covered by profits. Number of times, how many times in an accounting year, how many times the firm is able to pay its interest on loan? 4.5 times. And higher the ratio is considered better for lenders. So there is no standard ratio. Ideal ratio is not there. Okay. But we can conclude that higher the ratio, if it is higher, it is better for the lenders because it provides higher safety margin. Okay, the 4.5 times. So in an accounting period, for 4.5 times, they are making the interest payments. The interest coverage is done. Okay. Now, I request all of you to make a mind map, okay, or a concept map after each and every ratio. So first we studied about liquidity ratio. So you write the heading liquidity ratio. You can design it anyway. You have studied two ratios, current ratio as well as liquid ratio. You will also mention the other names. If the ratio is having any other names, quick ratio, acid test ratio, that is all included, and also the formulas. Okay, I want everybody to prepare a concept map, a mind map. Is it clear? Okay. So this will be very useful, very helpful at the time of revision time, revision period. So by now we completed two set of ratios. The first one, liquidity ratio, and the second one, solvency ratio. Please just go through all these ratios we have completed. Just simply, quickly go through. Next, I am going to start with activity ratios. So before that, I want you to go through the ratios already completed. Okay, over. Now the next ratio, the next type of ratios, turnover ratios or activity ratios. Activity ratio. What is the main activity of any business? What is the main activity? What is the main objective of a business? Femina, what is the main objective of a business? Femina, are you there? Shubham, what is the main objective of a business? Objective, main aim. Okay. So the main objective of any business is to make profit. How do they make profit? By sales, by doing sales, making sales. Okay. So what is the main activity of a business? It is sales. Sales is the main activity. That is the main thing they do. They do the selling activities. Selling activity is done. It is from selling that they get the profits. Okay. So this turnover ratio, it means the rate at which the business is using its assets. Okay. How the business is making use of its assets in order to make sales. Okay. How are the assets utilized? Whether they are making use of the assets efficiently. Whether the management is done properly, the resources are used correctly to earn profit, to make sales. Okay, so that is turnover ratio or activity ratio, and it has got another name that is called efficiency ratio. Turnover ratio, activity ratio, or it is also called efficiency ratio. And again, one more name, asset management ratios. So these are all different names of the same family of ratios, that is turnover ratio. So various assets are compared with the sales. Assets, what are the assets? They are the resources, economic resources owned by the business. Whether the business is making use of these assets properly, efficiently. That is what we are going to check with the help of this ratio, that is turnover ratio. Turnover ratio, efficiency ratio, asset management ratio, activity ratios. So you can include all these in your concept map. And this includes 4 types of ratios. This includes 4 types of ratios. Turnover ratios, under the category of turnover the ratio, we are going to learn 4. Which are they? The first one is stock turnover ratio. Stock, take down. Stock turnover ratio. So what is turnover? Turnover means the sales. So stock turnover ratio. We are going to compare or find the relation between the stock and the sales. Creditors turnover ratio. The next one is creditors turnover ratio. Creditors turnover ratio. Then we have debtors turnover ratio. Debtors turnover ratio. Then working capital turnover ratio. Working capital turnover ratio. These are the 4 ratios we are going to deal with now. And reminding you, we have one more family of ratios, profitability ratios. Okay, we'll be learning one more category. So in the first one, it was liquidity. There we had 2 ratios. Next one was solvency. How many we learned? We had 5 ratios there. And coming to activity ratios, we are going to learn 4 ratios. These are the most important 4 ratios. Okay, now let us begin with stock turnover ratio. Stock turnover ratio. Stock turnover ratio, another name is inventory turnover ratio. Inventory, what is inventory? It is just another term. Inventory is another term used for stock. Inventory turnover ratio. inventory turnover ratio means we are computing this ratio to find out how many times the stock is converted into sales. So here also we are going to express this ratio in times. Times. From the beginning, in the beginning I have told you these ratios, we express it either in the form of percentage or proportion, 2:1, likewise, times. Okay, so we express it in different forms or fractions, even in the form of fraction. Okay, so here this particular ratio, inventory turnover ratio, it is in times. Now, let me tell you, what are we going to find out? Suppose Mr. A, there is Mr. A, he started business with cash 1 lakh. Okay, started business with 1 lakh. With this 1 lakh, he purchased goods, purchased for 1 lakh. Then what is he doing? He is making sales. He sold this all the goods for 1 lakh. Okay. So now what happens? It is over. Again, what is he going to do? So when he made the sales, definitely he got return. It includes profits. Okay. Now what is the next step? Again he will purchase. Am I right? Again he will purchase. Maybe for 1,20,000, something like that. When he purchased, is he going to keep it idle? No. He's again going to make sales. So again sold. Once it is sold, again he'll purchase. Am I right? This is what a businessman do? Yes, this is what a businessman is doing. So he'll purchase, he'll sell it. Purchase, sell. Purchase, sell. So this is the main activity going on in a business. So we are going to see how many times this is being done. This activity, this conversion of stock, sales. Again purchase, again purchase, again sales, again purchase, again sales. So how many times this is turning like this, turning around, turning. Okay, how many times a business make purchase, sell the goods, make purchase, sell the goods. That is what we are going to find out in this ratio. So how many times this cycle is being rotated, turning, turn over, turn. So that is stock turnover ratio or inventory turnover ratio. Coming to the formula, inventory turnover ratio is equal to cost of goods sold. Cost of goods sold by average stock. You will find cost of goods sold as COGS. You remember 11th standard portions? COGS. Cost of goods sold, short form of cost of goods sold, COGS divided by average inventory or average stock. So these are the two important main components of inventory ratio. Which one? COGS, cost of goods sold, and average inventory, average stock. How do you find average stock? Average stock. You remember the P&L account? Trading account, trading and P&L account. So trading account, we usually begin with opening stock. Am I right? And we will have a closing stock. Yes? Yes. Opening stock on the debit side, closing stock on the credit side. So, average stock means it is opening stock plus closing stock divided by 2. Denominator, I am talking about the denominator, average stock. Opening stock plus closing stock divided by 2. If suppose in the question you find only closing stock. Note it down. Suppose if in the question only closing stock is given, only closing stock is given, then what is the average stock? What is the average stock then? It is the closing stock itself. You don't have to go for any other calculation. You will keep that itself as the denominator. Okay. If in the question only closing stock is given, take only that closing stock as average stock. If both information is given, it is very clear. Opening stock plus closing stock divided by 2. Then coming to the cost of goods sold. Anybody remembers how to find cost of goods sold? Yes? Remember? Karthik, can you try? Yes? Karthik, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you
Ma'am, we should add purchase.
Yes, try. The trading account? Okay, I'll explain.
Sales minus purchase.
Very good. Sales minus? No, it's not the purchase. Anyway, I'll explain. Don't worry. So this is your trading account. We will have opening stock, purchase. Then what else on the debit side? Anjo, what is on the debit side? This is your trading account. We will have opening stock, purchase, then, sorry, louder.
Purchase return.
Yes, purchase minus purchase return. Okay. Then, what is the next item?
Wages.
Wages, very good. So this wages and all, we call it direct expenses. You're right, direct expenses. Okay. Then coming to the credit side, we will have sales, less sales returns, closing stock. Now what we get as the result? If it is gross profit, it will come over here. Am I right? Okay. So this is how your trading account looks. So how to find cost of goods sold? We can find out cost of goods sold either from the items on the debit side, okay, or from the items based on the items on the credit side. So depending upon the items on the debit side, how to find COGS, cost of goods sold? It is equal to opening stock plus purchases. Purchases means purchase minus purchase returns. Okay, net purchase plus direct expenses minus closing stock. That will give you cost of goods sold. Cost of goods sold. So depending upon based on the debit side, COGS is equal to opening stock plus direct expense plus purchases minus closing stock. Now, based on the credit side information, you can find COGS as total sales minus gross profit. total sales minus gross profit. Okay. So this is how we find out COGS. Cost of goods sold, depending upon the debit side, opening stock plus purchase. Purchase means it is purchase minus purchase returns plus direct expense minus closing stock. And coming to the credit side, it is total sales. Total sales means sales minus sales return minus gross profit. Okay, there is another formula, inventory turnover ratio. Sales divided by closing stock. Sales divided by closing stock. Again, it is all depending upon the information available in the question. Whatever is given to you, it is based on that we find out all these. So the concept should be clear. What is it? What are we doing here? It is stock. We are comparing the stock with the assets. Stock turnover ratio. How many times the stocks are being converted? Sales taking place. Okay. Now, there is one more concept here. Okay. That is called stock conversion period. Stock conversion period. Okay. Based on this turnover ratio, this formula, we will be finding out the ratio. Maybe say take it 3 times, 4 times, whatever it is. You will get some answer. You will get some answer like this. Okay. Now coming to stock conversion period. This is in the form of the ratio. Stock conversion period means we are going to find out how many period, whether it is the days, months, weeks, okay, how many weeks it will be taken to convert this stock into sales, or how many days it will take. So that is stock conversion period. How long does it take? Or the time period required to convert the stock into sales. So for that, if we want to find out it in the form of days, okay, if it is in the days, you want to find out how many days it will take to convert the stock into sales, then we keep 365. In a year, we know there are 365 days. 365 divided by the ratio. If it is 3 times, it is 3. If it is 2 times, it is 2. Likewise. Okay? If it is in weeks, you want the details in weeks, then you keep 52 as the numerator. 52. If you want the details in weeks. 52 divided by the ratio. 3, 2, whatever it is. And if you want it in months, what will you put it as the numerator? If it is month, it is 12. Numerator will be 12 divided by the ratio. I hope it's clear. So this period, it is called stock conversion period. Stock conversion period. So this is all about inventory turnover ratio. Now let us do a problem based on this. Annual sales is given Okay. Gross profit is given. Gross profit is 20% on sales. Then opening stock, closing stock. And in the question, they have said, assume 360 days in a year. So they have asked to take 360 days in a year. Why? To find out stock conversion period. So they want it in days, number of days. How many days is taken? Okay. And they have given that to take number of days as 360. 360. Why? We have 365 days in a year. Why is it told to take 360 days? It is only for the convenience of calculation. There is nothing much about it. It is only for the convenience of calculation. For easy calculation, they have asked to take 360 days. As it is given, as it is mentioned in the question, that is why we take 360 divided by the ratio. If nothing is told and you are asked to just find out the conversion period, you can either use 365, you can either express it as days, months, weeks, no problem. If it is clearly mentioned, then you will go for that. Again, if it is nothing is mentioned regarding the number of days, you will take 365 itself. As in this question, it is specified, it is 360 days in a year. We will go for 360. Okay, so let's find out COGS. How much is COGS, cost of goods sold? So here the information is based on sales and gross profit. We are going for the credit side details of trading account. So how much is gross profit? It is 4 lakhs into 20%. Gross profit is 20% of annual sales, it says. So 4 lakh divided by into 20 by 100 will give you gross profit, which is 80,000. Sales is given to you. So sales minus sales, which is 4 lakhs. 4 lakhs minus 80,000, it is 3,20,000. 3,20,000. Now coming to average stock, in the question both are given. Opening stock is also there, closing stock is also there. So we will find out the average. Yes? Any doubt? Yes, Aditya? What happened?
No, ma'am. I don't have any doubt.
Nothing? Okay. It's not clear. Huh? I understand. The print is not clear. So stock turnover ratio is 3,20,000 divided by 40,000. The answer is 8 times. Calculate and check the answer. If I am wrong, you should tell me. 8 times. So what is stock conversion period? Stock, inventory, both are same. Keep it in mind. Inventory, another term is stock. So it is, we are going to find out it in days. So 360 divided by 8. So this means it will take 45 days time to convert stock into sales. Now, just find out the weeks, the stock conversion period in weeks. How to do? It is 52 divided by 8. So please complete the problem. It is time to wind up the session. We'll continue with the ratios in the upcoming sessions too. Okay? Thank you all. See you in the next session.